you situated. I am not doing edited videos this month, simply because I just don't have it. I have the energy, but I'm like really eager to start some other projects. I would like to tell you in advance, Taurus, that I have my mic clipped to my necklace. I hope that's not a problem because I'm wearing like a tank top thing, and I'm nervous that if I moved it that you won't hear me. But anyway. Okay. It is 2:29 a.m. I've been on like my parents' retirement schedule. It's like so weird. Like I'm basically like waking up anywhere between like 10 and 12, and then I'm going to sleep anywhere between like 1 and 4. It's really weird. I got to get my routine together. All the more reason why I'm eager to get the November forecast done, and I want to change my schedule yet again. I'm constantly reworking the schedule, guys. I have still not cracked the code. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to do this reading, and then I'm going to go to sleep. So, all right, Taurus. So if this is your first time here, we are going to go to my original format or standard format for the monthly forecast, which is monthly forecast overall for the month of November. Love and relationships, career, and finances. The monthly forecast is its own spread. We're going to look at the month overall. Then we're going to look into love and career and finances. The spreads for those two readings are the same, where we'll look into what to expect, the unexpected theme of the month. Now, I've already shuffled your cards, Taurus, so I'm going to go ahead and put these to, I'm just going to put them to the behind me, just behind me. Again, I hope that this being, see, that's why I'm nervous about this being clipped to my necklace, because I'm nervous you're going to hear the movement of the necklace. Let me see if I can fix this. I'm going to do something stupid. Bear with me. It might not be so stupid, but we shall see. Okay, I like clipped my mic to a piece of cotton. I think that might actually help. Okay, so here we go. Please remember, Taurus, that this is a collective reading for the Tauruses in my community. This is intended for sun signs, but if you're watching for your moon and your rising as well, that is completely fine. I tend to do the same, so I get a 360 view of what I can expect for the month ahead. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Don't try to make the shoe fit. If anything I say resonates with you and you'd like to go deeper, you can schedule a session with me in the link below. If you are a light keeper, you do have a 15% off discount for me for all of my services, I'm pretty sure. And if you're not a light keeper, become one. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and dive in. I am teaching a tarot course that is going to begin on November 5th. So if you are interested in that, Taurus, please go ahead and check the description box below. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. This is really interesting. I think Pisces had this card in the same position. Some cards are really similar to Pisces reading. I think this came up in Pisces reading, and so did the Three of Wands. I do think Pisces got the Eight of Cups as well. Okay, so like 4 cards that came up in Pisces reading. I did shuffle this pretty well, in my opinion, so we're going to see. But again, something that's important about collective readings is that there are going to be common themes throughout all of the zodiac signs simply because of the influences, the planetary influences that we're under. Okay, so if there seem to be commonalities within the signs, it's because of, the umbrella of cosmic energy that we are all under regardless, with different nuances for all the different signs. So let's go ahead and get started. Current self is 8 of Cups. Okay, so you may be feeling sad for a specific reason, Taurus. The 8 of Cups is about walking away. It is about needing time alone. It is, I'm hearing pushed out. You're feeling pushed out. That's interesting. Feeling pushed out, Taurus. Now, there's something you're sad about. I do want to come back to this. So I will look and see what that is, but let's keep going. I just want to touch all the tarot cards first. King of Cups is the theme of the month. You're very emotional, or perhaps this could involve a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. It could be a water sign that is your focus this month, but it's most likely about your emotions and your ability to manage and handle your emotions and compartmentalize your emotions, okay? When I see the King of Cups here, this is more a message about being able to steady your emotions. Like, you may be going through a difficult time, but you're like keeping yourself cool, calm, and collected. Kegel to pursue is the Queen of Swords. This is air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, in case an air sign is important to you. This is also about being very perceptive, being very smart, being really sharp with your communication. I do get that message of like really handle your business, be about your business, like maybe focusing on your career in some way. We'll definitely confirm that. Hold on, I need to fix this light. Okay. Obstacle to overcome is the Nine of Cups. That's interesting. So your happiness or a wish fulfillment will definitely confirm that. I don't know if it's like that you feel, are you feeling guilty for wanting to be happy, Taurus? What is that about? Or are you feeling like, is it a struggle to be happy this month? Like, I definitely want to know. Major accomplishment is the Three of Wands. So we do have, by the end of the month, we have success, victory. Is this going to focus? I'm trying to like, yesterday I feel like it was focusing fine. Now I feel like it's not focusing. Anyway, or is it the camera? I don't know. Let me see. No, it's just like not focused. Okay, whatever. The Three of Wands is about expansion, growth, next level. Okay, so we do have some growth happening by the end of the month. What to avoid is Knight of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but this could be avoiding a love interest. This could be, I'm hearing love bombing, either avoid love bombing someone or avoid being love bombed. I told you, just like I told Pisces, this could be a message to avoid putting rose-colored glasses on in your love life. Okay, but we'll confirm what that is for you. What to embrace is the Fool, a fresh start. To me, there is a message about traveling. Okay. Again, this is another message I said to Pisces. There could be a message about traveling for you this month. As I've worked with this deck more and more, in this particular deck, the Fool is traveling. Now, in all of the decks, technically, the Fool is about to embark on a new journey, but the message is more about, you know, taking a leap of faith and starting something new. But the specific imagery is about, you know, packing up and getting ready to go. So there's a message here about traveling, taking off, even advance, like, you know, going fast towards something new. Where to find support is Knight of Swords, air sign energy again, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But this is moving fast. Again, this message of taking off. Things are going to feel stagnant, it looks like this month, but things will eventually pick up. And then advice and encouragement is the Emperor. The Emperor is fatherhood. This is father figure energy. And this is about direction. This is about control. This is about masculine energy. Even confidence. Before I kind of confirm a lot of things, I wanted to see if anything else comes through for you, Taurus. I kind of feel like you're throwing yourself a pity party. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still here, Taurus. I'm just like looking at all these cards. I really am getting the sense, Taurus, and please let me know in the comments below. I'm getting a message here that somebody doesn't want you to be as happy as you are. Like, it's so strange. Like I'm getting a message here that like, it's like, it feels similar to like, imagine having roommates. And I don't know, this is just what's coming through. And I'm very well aware that everybody might have different circumstances and different experiences. But it's almost like you've got roommates and like all of your roommates are unemployed, but you get a new job. And it's like you can't even really fully celebrate getting a new job because they've been unemployed for like 6 months. So it's like, it's almost like haterade, like, oh, what's so special about you? You know, it's like imagine you've only been unemployed for like a week and you get a new job immediately and your friends have been unemployed for 6 months. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting here. I don't know if that's everybody's situation, but that is a message that's coming through. Can we call that envy? Can we call that jealousy? Sure. I'm just getting the sense that you're not allowed or you're not feeling safe to be happy. Okay, so first thing I want to look at is this 8 of Cups here. Why are you currently sad, Taurus? Why is Taurus currently sad? Okay, something about work, toil and labor. Okay, maybe you're feeling like you're not earning enough. Either you're feeling like you're exhausted. Why is Taurus sad? Do I want to keep using the Kipper? Why is Taurus sad, please? Okay, what is that? Empress. The Empress is about birthing something new. This could also be something to do with motherhood or a pregnancy, quite literally. Maybe feeling even a loss, even potentially. A miscarriage. You might even be grieving a child in a different way. Like maybe you have a child that's moving away, moving on, and maybe you're feeling like empty nesting. That could be a message. Okay, Taurus has theme of the month. What was that? Journey. See, I think you're really traveling this month. I really do. There's something about a trip. Okay, you don't know whether or not you should go. All right, that's interesting. Clarify, please, the theme of the month for Taurus. Now, I don't use reversals, but you see how it just flipped out reverse. The Ace of Cups could represent either a missed opportunity or maybe you not deciding to not take an opportunity. But in general, I don't use reversals in this fantasy deck. The more I've evolved with my tarot deck, the less I use reversals. There's only like a couple decks that I use reversals in nowadays. I'm being so serious. I think I literally only have 3 decks. Really 2. It's really just 2 decks. Maybe three that I use reversals in. But anyway. And that's just an intuitive feeling. Like I just kind of feel like I let the deck tell me whether or not it wants to be used with reversals or not. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just, like when I started using the Street Priestess Tarot, I initially started using it with reversals, but it just didn't feel right. Okay, anyway, back to the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is about a new opportunity or something new that is being offered to you, usually a job or something that can take root, or new relationship, something that can grow. When it's reversed here, again, it could either be a missed opportunity or you declining an opportunity. I don't know if there's maybe a message about relocation here, Taurus. Maybe that's what's causing you some grief. That might be a big discussion for you right now about relocating or maybe moving for a job and trying to determine if that's the best decision for you or for your family even, given that we have the Emperor and Empress here. Okay, let's look at this Queen of Swords. Clarify, please, the key goals to pursue for Taurus. Privileged lady. Yeah, this is definitely about work. This is about pursuing your bag. I think really, Taurus, like there's some new venture that's starting for you is really what I'm getting. I feel like I've been saying that for months. A couple people validated that in my comments because I was like, a few months ago, I felt like you were starting a new job. And I think even just recently as last month or something, I felt like whatever new job you started didn't work out. And so now it's like we're almost back to square one. And maybe that's why you're sad. I don't know. You know, so let me know if that's the situation here. But it seems that Spirit wants you to pursue your professional life at this time. Let's see why you're not happy. Please clarify the Nine of Cups. Why is Nine of Cups the obstacle to overcome for Taurus this month? Did I say Pisces? I meant Taurus. I'm sorry. Taurus. Please clarify that for Taurus. Obstacle to overcome. 2 cards. Okay, wealthy man in community. Now remember, the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. There seems to be something about your happiness is important, and it is directly related to your community and to being around people close to you, people that are important to you. Anything else about the Nine of Cups for Taurus, please? Okay, so we have the Fool, the Hermit, and the Justice. 3 major arcana cards. Wow. I just can't get over this feeling of guilt. There's this feeling of guilt, Taurus, of like you feeling like you know that you need to do what's right for you. You've prayed about it. You've like really thought about it, and you know you want to take this leap of faith. But it feels like you might be leaving someone or something behind, a group of people. That's kind of really truly the vibe that I'm getting here. It feels like guilt for like feeling like you're leaving somebody behind. But I think in your mind, let me know if this is connecting, seriously, because I think in your mind, you're leaving so that you can bring it back home. Like imagine people who travel for sales or something. Like they work so that, or that's not a good example. People who like come to America, or at least used to anyway, for a better opportunity, and they send money back home. That's kind of the vibe. Like immigrants do that all the time. They get jobs in America because they can make more money, but then they send some of it back home. And I think that's your intention, but I don't know that you've communicated that intention. Like whatever sacrifice you're making by being away from your family or considering moving away from your family and community is so you could make a better future for the community. That's really what I'm getting here. Okay, 3 of Wands. Let's clarify that, please, for Taurus. Major accomplishment. Thoughts. I hate this card. Major accomplishment for Taurus, please. Oh, look at that. I really feel like, I don't know if you're partnered, Taurus, but it looks like whether or not doesn't matter your orientation, but it's feeling like you and your person are like going to Portugal, you know? I personally have not really looked into that. I know a lot of Americans are considering relocating to Portugal. I kind of feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm going down with the ship, America's always gonna be America. And I'm kind of just like, you know what, I'll ride this out. I'll report back to the people who escape this country. I'm gonna report back of the happenings that are, the US. But I'm gonna keep it locked. Keeping it locked. Okay, let's keep going. What to avoid? Please clarify what to avoid for a Taurus. 10 of Cups. It's so interesting because this again would be community. I'm getting a message here to not choose. Maybe you're feeling forced to choose between a partner and your family, especially if your family or your community or your friends don't like a partner of yours or a love interest of yours. Clarify, please, Knight of Cups. What to avoid for Taurus. Remember, everybody's situation is going to be different. So maybe this message of like moving to Portugal with your partner is going to resonate with some people, but maybe also the message of like your partner, or maybe it all connects. I don't know. Maybe you feel like moving away from Portugal with your boo is the way to kind of like solve for, your family not liking your person. Like you dig in, you say, okay, you know what? Y'all don't like my person? Bet I'm going to leave the fucking country altogether. It's like you're calling your family's bluff. And I don't really know that that fixes things in the way that you think that they will. Anyway, Six of Swords came out, which is transition. I think you're having a hard time moving on from someone. I'm very interested to see what comes up in your love reading, so I'm going to leave that right there. To me, what to embrace is very straightforward, but let's see what we get anyway with the Fool. What should Taurus be embracing? Clarify that fresh start for Taurus. Adjudication. Okay. Now, the adjudication card is like a resolution, okay, to a conflict. It's not always legal, but it is often administrative. Okay, look, the Lover's back of the deck. This could be representative of a fresh start with someone, but for me personally, it's not even personally, it's just from experience with this card. This is not usually moving on with someone. This is usually moving on after a decision has been made. You see what I'm saying? That you've made a decision, you're like, okay, I've decided what I'm going to do with the Two of Swords here, and I'm going to be packing my things and going, you know? That's more like the message. It's not usually that we both collectively decide to go. And again, with the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, it's seeming like maybe that's behind you, like something that's already transpired message. So I don't know. Okay. All right, let's look at what the Knight of Swords is. Where to find support. Again, could be an air sign. Clarify where to find support. Anxiety about domestic harmony. Again, really emphasis on a partnership, emphasis on your home life, emphasis on family and community. There's something that's really causing you stress. But what's the advice here, Spirit, with the Knight of Swords for Taurus? Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is, it usually is embracing something new, embracing a new relationship. If you are in a committed relationship, oftentimes an Ace of Cups is a deepening of a bond. Like, have you and your person gone through something traumatic, Taurus? Like, what's going on? I'm trying to understand. Like, there's like competing messages here. On one hand, it seems like maybe you and your person are really, you know, wrestling with some big life changes, whereas others of you are struggling to decide whether you should stay or go regarding a particular relationship. So maybe both messages are true, but I'm just sharing all that's coming through, okay? Because like I said, not everybody's story is going to be the same. Lastly, this Emperor card here. Please clarify that. Advice and encouragement for Taurus, please. Jesus. Okay. Queen of Swords again. Okay, the Emperor again, and the World. Child, the three of these cards are basically, I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible. Let me see if I can try to figure this out. You already know what the right decision is. It's just that being the boss is never comfortable because you have to make the hard decisions to decide when something is done, when a chapter is closed, when you've done all you can do and it's time to move on. That's really the vibe here. Now, again, the World is usually major accomplishment, but it is often representative of a chapter closing, of like, you know, something being done. And whenever we have the World and the Fool in a reading, it's the end and the beginning of the major arcana. It usually is very symbolic of a chapter closing. I just feel like you're avoiding making a hard decision. You already know what to do, Taurus. It's just not the comfortable decision. You're not going to be able to please everybody with what you need, with what you feel you need to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try to summarize this. Please bear with me. Look, even the Fool came out twice. The Fool came out twice. The Fool came out, some repeating cards. The Fool came out twice. The Queen of Swords came out twice. The Emperor came out twice. When we have repeating cards, guys, I definitely want you to look them up, okay? So that you can meditate on these, you know, for your own information, your own knowledge, okay? Okay. So let's recap. Starting off the month with some heavy energy, maybe feeling sad, maybe feeling alone, maybe needing time to kind of disassociate. The theme of the month is getting a handle on your emotions and kind of like weathering an emotional storm, okay? Or maybe even being there for others. Spirit is telling you to kind of be perceptive, do what you know is the logical choice, and communicate effectively through that. Maybe even making some changes in your career professionally and focusing on that. However, you need to overcome that maybe you won't get what you want. Maybe you're feeling guilty for doing what you want. You're wrestling with what you want to do versus what you have to do this month. Responsibility versus desires. Major accomplishment is success, or not success. It is expansion and growth. A lot of times the Three of Wands is like you being ready to take flight, but not necessarily taking flight yet. It's you preparing to take flight, metaphorically. We do potentially need to avoid a romantic interest, maybe potentially avoid either choosing between your family and your partner. I just don't think that would go well for you. So really be careful and ask yourself if you're doing what you want or what your partner wants. That message is coming through. You need to embrace a fresh start, moving on, something about traveling as well, maybe even relocating. Advice and encouragement is take flight, go on, look forward, and fast. A lot of times the Knight of Swords is doing things quickly. And lastly, the Emperor, being decisive, being in control, being in a position of leadership, and also father figure energy. So again, you know, I just think this is about you, Taurus, this month, making the hard decisions, the logical decisions, and sacrificing. This seems to very much be a month of sacrifice for you. I don't know, like, I don't know what scene Spirit's trying to show me. There's like this message of like a family being torn apart. Like, I'm just kind of seeing, you know, I'm almost seeing like things at the border, like families being ripped apart. Or even like Game of Thrones, you know? I feel like what was like 2 fucking seasons that all of the, I don't even know how many seasons it was. It felt like the whole goddamn series where all of the Stark children like were not together. And we waited so many seasons for all of them to be together again. And it kind of, and you know, it was cathartic at that when they finally were all together again, except for Rob, obviously. But it kind of feels like that, of like families or close connections all having their different assignments and their own different paths and journeys that lead them down, you know, where their life is taking them, but all somehow come back to each other. It's just painful the way that this is happening. This is interesting. Really, please let me know if this is connecting, guys. Please, 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 please. All right, so that's your monthly forecast. Let's go ahead and look into your love and relationships. I didn't pick your oracle card. I'm using Crystal Spirits this month. Hold on. I keep hitting the tripod. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's look. Your cards are already shuffled. What to expect. The unexpected. Okay, so it seems like what looks like reconciliation. I don't know. Theme of the month. Yeah, there's a lot of tension in your love life right now. dare I say, on the brink of separation or divorce. Dare I say. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. For Taurus, please. What's the vibe for Taurus? Ugh. At least it didn't fall on the floor. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me, personally. Now, because of what you have for the unexpected, I do want to see what we have on the healing heart journey. What advice do you have? Again, an emphasis on journey. It's interesting that you have the soulmate card and also stay optimistic. Y'all, the thing about the soulmate card is the soulmate is not always your life partner. What advice do you have for Taurus, please, for the month of November? All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay. Let's go ahead and kind of jump in. I'm going to put these to the side for now. Okay, so what to expect? We have the Six of Swords and the Page of Pentacles reversed. Both of them are reversed. Typically, the Six of Swords is about victory, success, and achievement and recognition. The Page of Pentacles is about somebody who is dedicated, disciplined, and wants to learn and grow. Also, Earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. When it is reversed, someone is feeling unappreciated and someone is feeling like they don't want to invest in something anymore. Maybe that's how you feel. You're feeling either unappreciated and you don't know if you want to keep investing in this. Maybe, and I'm trying to be careful about not always tying the reading to the relationship itself. It could be that you and your partner have been unsuccessful at something and are wondering if you should stop investing in it. Thinking back to how we had the Empress card, Taurus, maybe you and your partner are trying to conceive. Maybe you're struggling through that and that's putting pressure on the relationship or the marriage. That could be a message here. Some sort of inadequacy, some sort of lack of wish fulfillment, some sort of setback is making you or your partner feel like a failure, and you're losing steam for the relationship. You're losing investment is kind of what I'm feeling here, okay? The unexpected, we have the Lovers and the Justice card. The Lovers is Gemini energy, in case that's important to you. The Justice card is Libra energy. So both air sign energy. We had the Queen of Swords and Knight of Swords in your reading, remember? So lots of air sign energy, excuse me, for you for the month of November. Now, the cards themselves, the Lovers is typically about duality, balancing. It's, I don't want to say yin yang energy, even though it is, but it is definitely like divine partnerships. That's really more Two of Cups. This is about partnerships and unions. It definitely is. But it's also about personal values and like staying true to your personal value system and what's important to you, and also being connected to your higher self. Whereas the Justice card is about balance. It's about karma. It's about doing what's right. Now, both of these cards are upright. And even just looking at the imagery of the cards, it's looking like you and your person are going to make up if you guys have been struggling. If you're single, Taurus, I don't necessarily see new love coming in this month. It's not really what I'm getting. Not that it's impossible. Watch your other readings as well, but I don't think November is the month of like starting new relationships or meeting somebody new. it feels more likely that you are surprisingly compromising with somebody, or you're finding some sort of resolution. Remember, we had the adjudication card. Maybe some of you guys are going through a divorce, and maybe it's been really difficult for you guys to kind of like find some middle ground. I'm not really getting divorce here, but I'm just bringing it up just in case. Maybe you guys are trying to separate and you're trying to figure out who gets the dog, who gets the car, stuff like that. And I'm saying that because we have the journey card and the sweet release. Like somebody, like separate from like the messages here, okay, if we just cover that for a second, some baggage needs to be let go, either within the relationship, or you or somebody needs to move on. I'm sensing that some of you go back to an old flame. That's something that just came through. Maybe wanting to like get answers from an ex. That's coming through. I don't know if that resonates at all, or, you know, just let me know in the comments. Like if you, first of all, Mercury retrograde is about to start. We'll have Mercury retrograde for the majority of November. So that is quite literally the time where you hear from exes and stuff like that. Okay. Theme of the month, Four of Pentacles, conserving your energy. Like one of you or your person are being like very standoffish, very like closed off. The Four of Pentacles quite literally is also about saving your money, saving your resources. The imagery of the card is not the best, but it's about like kind of holding back. King of Swords here, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. When it's reversed, it usually represents somebody who's very, very mean with their words, very sharp, like very, just kind of cuts you down. Seven of Cups here, fantasy, options, expanding your horizon. Yeah, sure, we could say expanding your horizons. Just wanted to see what else is available to you. Maybe you're kind of like, maybe I don't need to stay in this relationship. Maybe there is someone better for me. Five of Wands here is it is conflict, but it's mostly about competition. Maybe you feel like you're competing in your relationship, competing for your person's time. Maybe that is beginning to frustrate you. Maybe you're feeling like you shouldn't have to fight so hard for your person's time, love, and affection. Your love life is strained, is what's very clear to me. Your love life is strained. What will be the outcome of this relationship, Spirit, at least in this season for Taurus? What will be the outcome of Taurus's love life, please? In the month. Anxiety, Nine of Swords. What will be the outcome of Taurus's love life for November 2025? What will be the outcome of Taurus's love life? Okay, here we go. Two of Cups. Okay. All right. So Taurus, it's difficult, but you're going to make it through. This is not an easy season for you and your partner. Okay? This is not an easy season. There's a lot of arguments. It seems like both of you guys have maybe different approaches. You're not being the most communicative right now, but I think you both want to try. All right? I'm not seeing this relationship ending, but it is a conversation on the table. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. So we got the soulmate card here, and stay optimistic. I've read these cards so many times before. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So basically kind of like try to think positively, try not to be in the Nine of Swords energy. Try to focus your thoughts more. If you're honest with yourself, I'll let you answer this question verbally aloud right now. If you're honest with yourself, when you think of your love life, are you thinking more about what it's not, or are you thinking more gratitude? And what I mean by that is like when things are not going well in your love life, you're affirming that mentally. Like, and if you think of it like, I want you to think of it like a scale. Like, is it more thoughts of like negative thoughts, or is it more thoughts positive? Okay. Because if it's more negative, we got to fix that. And we got to think positive. And some people literally ask me sometimes in the comments, well, how do I do that? It's literally like you have to be a fucking like, you have to be so on top of, and this is why I've linked Roxy Lee's channel on my YouTube page, because I like her 360 method for manifestation. You have to be on top of your thoughts so intensely. So whenever a thought comes in of, oh, I just wish that Brian would just be better about blah, 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 blah. You have to be like, oh, skirt. You have to stop that thought in its tracks and be like, no, you know what? Brian is working towards being a better blah, 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 blah every day. You have to get a handle on your thoughts. Like, that is the only way. You have to make it your job. You have to make it your business to get a handle on your thoughts and be very intentional and careful about what you speak about. I just watched this video by Mr. Beast. I don't know if you guys know who that is. And I don't even follow Mr. Beast, but apparently he scheduled a video to be uploaded 10 years from... Excuse me, I didn't even know you could do that. Apparently he scheduled a video to be uploaded 10 years from when he recorded it. So that just happened 3 weeks ago. In 2015, he scheduled a video to be released in 2025. And in the video, it was just like a 3-minute video, but he kept repeating, I hope you have 1 million subscribers. If you do, I really hope we have at least 1 million subscribers by then. And at the time he had like 8,000. But Mr. Beast currently has 448 million subscribers just on one of his channels. He has many channels, okay? So I'm saying that because it's important to speak. He really literally repeated it multiple times in the video, and then he intentionally scheduled it 10 years later. And I watched a follow-up video about him reacting to that video and kind of gave a little bit of context of how he was determined to like be a successful YouTuber because his parents went bankrupt during the 2008 crisis. And he didn't really have money to go to college. He did 2 weeks of community college and he was like, it is YouTube or die. And he was like 10 toes down about like, this is it. This is the path. This has to work. And you have to have that same vigilance, you know, about your relationship life. Okay. All right. It's enough of that. It's enough of that. I just don't feel the need to read these messages today. Sometimes I do. You guys know sometimes I read the messages. Here's what I'll do. I'll pause it, and if you want to read it, you can. If you're new here, but sometimes I read these messages all the time. Okay, so if you want... Oh, shit. Will it focus? Okay. If you need to pause here, zoom in. Okay, for Stay Optimistic. And then Soulmate. Where's that one? Text is like so fucking small. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and clear this and let's move on to your career and finances. Oh, I'm still supposed to pick a crystal card for you. We'll do that now. We'll do that now. We will do that now. Let me clear these cards. That's interesting. I didn't realize I left one card out. 7 of Wands reversed. This is an addition. Ooh, as it falls on the ground. The 7 of Wands is about being defensive. Okay. And Taurus, you're a fixed sign. You tend to be very stubborn. My ex was a Taurus, and something I began to realize over time with him was that, I mean, I was a brat for sure, and a lot of different reasons, but I noticed that he would eventually come around to my way of thinking or whatever it is that I wanted, but I needed to give him time to get there. And I think this card is coming up, Taurus, because I want you to ask yourself, where are you being too rigid? Where are you being too firm? Where are you being too inflexible? Are you refusing? Because again, the 7 of Wands, it's like boundaries, but when it's reversed, it's like you may be too defensive. You may be too committed to only doing things your way. And I think that might be hurting you, Taurus. Okay. Okay, let's pick your crystal card. for the month of November for Taurus, 2025. I don't know what it is, so we'll put that over there. Okay, let's move on to your career and finances. Here we go. Let's just see. 5 of Wands again. 9 of Cups again. Knight of Cups again. Yeah, so this is very similar to the Emperor. I mean, I'll leave it out. I'll put it back. I don't want to overcomplicate this. Okay. Okay. Again, we've got endings here. There's something ending. What do you have for Taurus, please, for the month of November? Additional messages for Taurus 2025. November 2025 for Taurus, please. The goals card just flew out. I'll grab that in a minute. Taurus 2025. Okay. Damn. Okay, let me get the goals card. So we got to reset. We got to regroup, Taurus. We got to reset and regroup. That's what I'm getting from this. Let's put that to the side. Let's go ahead and start with what to expect in your career and finances. So we've got the Page of Wands and the 5 of Wands reversed. The Page of Wands is expression, freedom of expression, creative expression, creativity, and wanting to see what's out there. The Page is an explorer. They're trying to discover themselves. Like it's a journey of self-discovery. And the 5 of Wands is typically, like I said, about competition. But when it's reversed, it is often a message of like not wanting to fight anymore, not wanting to prove yourself anymore. So a couple things here, Taurus. You may be on a journey where you're like, you know what? I'm done trying to climb the ladder. I'm done trying to prove myself. I see that it hasn't gotten me where I want to be. And you are exploring your own, trying to determine if there's a better fit for you. I'm seeing, Taurus, that you're opening yourself up to jobs that maybe you hadn't considered before, especially because a lot of people at major companies just got laid off. I remember I was at a Halloween party this past weekend, and one of the girls, she said she worked for CBS. I don't know if anybody has seen that video by that black man who noticed that all of his colleagues that were being laid off were of color. And then he confronted his boss about it. I don't know if you guys saw that, but this particular young lady, she was white, and she was saying, CBS is letting go of a bunch of people next week, and I'm nervous I'm going to be one of them. I don't know if she ended up being, like, we didn't exchange information, but I told her that she would be. So I'm very interested to see what happened. But I also told her I felt that she would get a generous severance package. Anyway, my point in mentioning that is and I just saw another video that Amazon is about to, if they haven't already, laid off 30,000 people. So a lot of people are losing jobs. And you might be one of them, Taurus. Like, you just might be in a space of, you know what, let me just get creative and let me see what I can do before shit goes all the way left. You know, because you might see, okay, how I've been going about it, the route I've been going seems like a little bit of a dead end. So let me get creative. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. All right. The unexpected is 9 of Cups and the Sun. Now, in the position of, again, the unexpected 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment, as we've discussed. In this reading, it's upright. The Sun, however, is reversed. The Sun is typically happiness. Look at how the images are very similar. It's happiness. It's contentment. It's joy, it's liberation. When the Sun is reversed, it is a message to get back in touch with your playfulness, get back in touch with what makes you happy. This is usually a reminder that you've gotten disconnected from what brings you personal joy, what brings you peace, okay? Now, with this being in the position of the unexpected, you're likely figuring out those things and trying to pursue them, or realizing the need for that. Maybe you've been grinding it out for so long, giving yourself a chance to relax, okay? and you just realizing, you know what? I haven't been to yoga in 9 months. Let me fucking go to yoga. Let me do that. Let me realign, you know? Just doing a little something for yourself is becoming important to you. Theme of the month, Knight of Cups reversed. So some of you, especially again, if you're in a committed relationship, there seems to be a love interest that is really not on your side. They're not seeing things, you and your person are not seeing eye to eye. And I feel that the Taurus is watching this probably live together with their person or have some sort of shared finances, because that seems to be an issue. Again, here, 8 of Pentacles reversed. Somebody's not invested. Somebody's getting lazy. The Queen of Pentacles, or actually, Taurus, there might be a message here that your partner isn't working and that's putting strain on the marriage or the relationship. Or again, maybe it's you that's not working and you're feeling like you can't provide. That could be a message here. The Queen of Pentacles here is earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Knight of Cups, water sign energy. The Queen of Pentacles is also very self-made. She is independent. She's built herself up. I do feel that there's a message here that some of you guys might be kind of going your own lane here, because the 10 of Swords is here. It's endings, defeat, betrayal. It's kind of giving like, you know, oh, fuck it. Like the government isn't here for me, so let me just try to do my own thing, you know? Is that the message, Spirit? Because I just feel like you were giving messages about relocation. You were giving messages about... It could be that, like, again, you're leaving one place for a better opportunity. The Queen of Pentacles is stable. Okay, she's comfortable. But there just feels like a disconnect here. It feels like one person, because this definitely feels related to some sort of relationship. If not, if there's nobody in your life, Taurus, then this message would be just about you recognizing you don't want to do work that's unfulfilling anymore. That's if there's no romantic interest. But if there is a romantic interest, there seems to be a message that there's like 2 different energies. One person is going through a transformation while one person is like down in the dumps and stagnant and not seeing progress. And that's affecting the relationship. Okay, let's look at these oracle messages. And you might be like, well, Whitney, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I'm just telling you so that you can be prepared. And it seems that your goal, Taurus, is to focus on what makes you happy. Ask yourself, what the fuck do I want? In a perfect world, if I had a magic wand, how would things go for me? And then figure that out. And then once you do, try to figure out how you can implement it. Okay? How you can make some changes. All right, so first card out was goals. Don't let the world lead you. Take the steering wheel and take control of your life. This would be a good time to write down your goals and aspirations. Focus on creating and managing a budget. Again, what the fuck do you want? Write down your goals. Figure that out. Now, these 3 came out all together. First one out is comfort. Though you're not exactly rich, you will be living comfortably. You're entering the most comfortable period of your life. Your finances are in a state of balance. We have unreliable. There's some confusion regarding money. People are not following through on their promises and not paying on time. Expected money may not materialize. In my experience with this card, it usually is expected money may not materialize. So if you're waiting on like a check from the government or something, you need to go ahead and be proactive about figuring out other ways to get money, because whatever the main thing that you might be waiting on, that's going to be delayed or that's not reliable. So go ahead right now and start, expanding your horizon. Remember, we had the 7 of Cups. I don't even know where we had the 7 of Cups. I've forgotten already. Where did the 7 of Cups come into play? I don't know, but I feel like we had the 7 of Cups in your reading. You need to open up your offer for who you talk to regarding money matters. Don't make any type of financial commitments right now. When I see the Beware card, I always used to think of it as like, oh, let me be careful about who I talk to, because maybe like somebody's being sneaky or shady. But the more I've worked with this deck, the more I've learned that the Beware card is more about, it's more of a warning, as I've learned, like, hey, shit's about to go left. So go ahead and just like Make sure you just save a little bit right now. Save as much as you can. Try not to splurge. Try not to, you know, necessary expenses. Like, this is a message to really tighten your shit up financially. This is why the goals card is coming out, because shit is about to be not cute. I think personally anybody could probably make that prediction based off of what we're seeing in the, you know, government and just the media right now, but specifically that is a message for you, Taurus. So overall, it seems like you're trying to figure out like what you want to do. You don't have those answers yet. That's why we had the Two of Swords for you. But it does seem like ultimately you are going to be making a decision to leave something or someone behind in your professional life. But it seems to be for your greater good. That's genuinely what I get out of that. And there are so many ways that that could be manifested. So I'm not really seeing you broke down and out. But it is going to be a little bit of an uncomfortable journey as you figure out what road you need to be on. And it doesn't feel like your relationship, if you're in one, is helping you. You are not going to find the answers in your relationship this month. You are not. And it may be because they've got their own shit that they're trying to work through. But it also might be that maybe they can't relate. Maybe you don't feel like they're able to provide guidance or wisdom for you at this time. Definitely does feel like you need to work on communication with your partner, though. I mean, fuck what I say, try anyway. I'd rather you try than not. But definitely feels like a bit of a struggle. Okay, let's look at your crystal card. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay, how do I pronounce this? All these complicated ass cards. Spessartine Garnet. I think that's how, I think that's what we're going with. Okay, 53. Okay, it's gonna be back here, almost there. All right, I'm only gonna read the general message, so I will pause this so that you can read the whole thing if you want to. Here is the second page. Here is the third page. Okay, essential meaning. Charm and charisma, shining and sparkling, being a brilliant beacon of confidence that inspires others. Okay, interesting. Interesting because that's kind of like the vibe here, you know. Here we go. Every one of us is a being of light meant to shine and sparkle. Also this one too. Like you see the common imagery here, Taurus? Okay. Your light draws others to you, for we all seek the light. The message of Spessartine Garnet Spirit is to embrace your natural charm and magnetism. Do you think you're not all that special? If so, that is only because you haven't discovered your natural charisma and expressed it. The universe wants you to, the conscious universe wants you to let it shine out, for your dazzling brilliance will be a beacon for others as you walk the healing path toward discovering your destiny. You can attract those who will help you and those who will benefit from all that you have to share, your talents, your love, your joy. We are all so lucky to have you here on this planet right now. Feel your magnetism today. Express it, shine your light in all your glory, inspiring others, and let yourself draw in whatever will help you on your journey. I think that kind of makes sense for me now, like, you know, with the Eight of Cups at the beginning of the month for you, like maybe you're feeling low confidence, feeling like you're not needed, especially if you are somebody who's like recently getting laid off. Maybe you're feeling like disposable, I guess. And maybe it's not even that you're feeling disposable in your work life, but maybe you're feeling disposable in your personal life, which is why you're trying to like struggle to like figure out your joy. I think, you know, I really think the message that really is like very loud for me is like figuring out your destiny, figuring out what makes you happy, figuring out why you're on this planet. I think that's why it's interesting that I brought up Mr. Beast, because he was like, it's YouTube or die. And he kind of talked about that in his video. He had so much conviction about like, this is what I'm doing. And he talks about how blessed he was to like know what he wanted to do from a very early age, because a lot of people don't. So I kind of feel like that is the vibe of November for you. You just kind of figuring out where your north is, and it's going to feel a little sticky as you figure that out this month. But I think given this message that we just read about the garnet, you're also struggling with feeling needed. You're trying to figure out, where am I needed? And where do I want to be needed? That's a better way of putting it. Where do I want to be? Where am I needed and where do I want to be needed? You know, give yourself time to like let that come to you. Pray about it. You know, that doesn't have to be something that you figure out in just one journal entry. You can ask God, help me, figure out where I need to be, like guide my steps, and just pay attention. Pay attention to everything. That happened to me recently. I was, I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to reveal too much. But, I have an idea of something I want to do for my YouTube. And I was wrestling with the content schedule, something I've actually been wrestling with for a very long time. And I was like, oh, I'll just do this weekly. Like I was going to be really ambitious at first, but I was like, no, I'll just do it weekly. But then I was listening to somebody else's podcast, and in that podcast, and I hadn't talked to anybody about this. This is all just like mental. But then and this is how God works. This is my point. I was listening to the podcast and the guy was saying, had I stayed on a track of like doing weekly messages, I would have never had the growth that I did. And just listening to that creator share his story felt like confirmation that I need to be a little bit more aggressive about, some content goals. So really, truly pay attention to the signs and things that you feel called to listen to check out. Pay attention to the things that you watch that even if you choose it are not quite as coincidental as you might think. Everything is being orchestrated. You of course have free will, but Spirit is trying to communicate with you always. So just really pay attention. Okay. Taurus, I love you so much. Drop some comments below if this reading resonated with you this month. Save it and come back to it as often as you need as the month unfolds. I love you, I love you, I love you, in the words of Natasha Bedingfield. And I hope you have an amazing November. Bye, Taurus.